Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time here, my name is Shannon, and if you're coming back, thanks so much for stopping by. Today's video, we are going to be talking about my follow-up to my haul part 4. So if you're curious as to what products I hauled, you can go and check out that video in my feed. But this is just the follow-up to those products. I've had time to work with them, and I think with the exception of one item, I've tried everything out, and I'm here to give you the tea. So without further ado, let's dive right in. The first thing I mentioned was this sponge from Real Techniques. This is the diamond sponge. So I like this, you guys, but I think I like the original better now that I've had time to work with it. It does get a little bit bigger than this when you dampen it, but the one qualm, I guess, that I have with it is when it's dry, it's pretty stiff, but when you dampen it, this tip here gets really flimsy, in my opinion, and I was really kind of excited about this for really getting up under the eyes, but I find it to be a little bit on the flimsy side. I don't think it's necessarily a bad sponge, but it's probably not something that I would rush out and purchase. So if you guys have tried this out, let me know how you feel about it. For me personally, it's just okay. The next item was this brush from Real Techniques. This is a nice brush. I feel like it's best suited for like bronzer. That's typically how I have been using it. I tried it out for foundation, but I just kind of felt like it left things a little bit streaky when it came to like cream products. So for me personally, I think this is best suited for bronzing up the face. It's okay. The packaging is beautiful and it looks great on display. Not my favorite brush though, in terms of like functionality. The next one is the Morphe sponge. Now this you can see is a little dirty. I used it this morning and this one I love. I actually really like this sponge a lot, and I have thought about purchasing a couple more. I just really love everything about it, you guys. I think it's just the perfect density for baking. I really love this under my eyes for setting my under eyes with powder. It's just nice and crisp on this like edge. It is good for, patting out foundation as well using this side, but I typically use this with my powders, and I was really loving the EcoTools sponge for baking, but I think I prefer this one over the EcoTools one because it is a little bit more dense. So I think in the future, I'm gonna go ahead and let the green EcoTools sponge go, and I think I found my replacement for that. So really been loving that. The next item is this Catrice Liquid Camouflage Concealer. Now this is the one item that I hauled that I really haven't had a chance to play with, at least not enough to like give you guys a firm opinion. I just have other concealers that I've been trying to work through, so I really haven't had the opportunity to really give this one a go yet. So stay tuned, I will keep you guys posted, but as of right now, I just don't really have enough information on it. The next item is this ColourPop highlight in the shade Flexitarian. So as I stated in the original video, I was really excited to see ColourPop come to Ulta, really excited, and I had heard a lot of great things about this specific highlighter in Flexitarian. So at first, you guys, I wasn't crazy about this. I was having a hard time figuring out the best method of application. Come to find out, I got some feedback from you guys actually, and the best way to apply this is in fact with a damp sponge. Once I figured that out, I fell in love with this, so much so that I went ahead and picked up another shade, and it's called Wisp. So I really like this. I love this shade. I think I prefer Flexitarian personally over Wisp, but it's just really beautiful. It looks really beautiful on the skin. It's very reflective. It's a great shade for my skin tone personally, and I just have really been enjoying this. I think it's definitely worth the $8 price point, and you can definitely pick this up as well as Wisp and a few other shades now at Ulta. The next item is the Wet n Wild Dewy Finish Primer. This, you guys, is a pass for me. This is something that I'm going to be decluttering. I've heard great things about this. There are some people out there that really, really love it. For me personally, I just have other sort of dewy primers that I prefer over this one. I hate the packaging. Let me just put that on my hand, but I hate this giant opening. It's really hard to control how much you get out. But packaging aside, I'm just not crazy about this, you guys. I'm not crazy about this product. I feel like it's a little bit too excessive. Now, I could probably use this in the summer months just as kind of like on my legs, just to kind of make my legs look shiny if I'm going out or if I'm wearing like a skirt or something. But on the face, I'm just not crazy about this on my face. So this is a hard pass for me. I wouldn't repurchase it. If I don't declutter it, I will try to get use out of it like on my legs or my collarbones. But personally, it just didn't work for me, you guys. Next product is this liquid liner from NYX. Now, I talked about in the original haul video, I pretty much gave you my feedback on this, and I still feel the same way. I do love these NYX liners. I think they're really awesome. The gold one especially. The purple one is also really good. They have a teal shade that I like. But this one is just a little bit underwhelming, you guys. You just really don't get a whole lot of payoff. It's really more like liquid that comes out rather than the glitter. It's just not very opaque. I was really hoping that this was going to be a dupe for the Urban Decay Heavy Metal Liner in Distortion, and it's just not. It's just really lackluster in my opinion. I've used it several times in the inner corner. I think it's best in the inner corner, really built up if you want like you know, really glittery inner corner if you have like a specific look. But as far as like doing a wing or anything like that, I don't think it is pigmented enough. I don't think you get enough glitter payoff. So that's a hard pass for me. This Pro Matte LA Girl Foundation. This is also something that I'm going to be decluttering. This I could probably make work. This, it's just not worth it to me. I'm going to let this go. I'm going to see if somebody else can get better results out of this than I did. I found this to be very patchy on me personally, very finicky and hard to work with. I pulled it into my Shop My Stash couple weeks ago, I believe it was, and I didn't even want to reach for it, you guys, because it is just so hard to work with. I've used it enough times now to know that it's not just like my method of application, it's not just the primer. I've kind of narrowed all of those things down, and it's just the foundation. It's just very patchy. If you guys have found a way to make this work, let me know. Also, let me know if you had the same experience, because maybe I just got a bad one. I don't know. But for me personally, this is a hard pass. Hard pass, not worth the money. There's just better mattifying foundations out there, in my opinion, for the same price. Revlon Color Stay is awesome for oily skin. That would be much preferred to me over that, or like the L'Oreal Pro Matte. I don't know, you guys. I'm really disappointed by that. So the other products I got were also from ColourPop, and they came in a lip kit. It was called like the Wicked Trio or something like that. This is the glossy one in the shade Tight Fit. This is the Ultra Satin in Echo Park. Both of these I like. I think they're nice, but the Ultra Matte I ended up decluttering right away. I wore it probably 3-4 times, and it was so unbelievably drying that I just knew right away this is not going to be something that I'm ever going to reach for. I like matte lipsticks. I'm wearing one now. This is the Kat Von D liquid lipstick in the shade Ludwig or Ludwig, and I really, really love her formula. I love several liquid lipstick formulas, but the ColourPop one is just not my favorite, and I cannot remember for the life of me what the shade was. But the glossy lip I do like. I think these are nice. Probably not something that I would like seek out and purchase on its own, but the satin lips are nice. Now these are interesting enough to me and comfortable enough to me to purchase on their own. So if I saw these somewhere, Ulta's only carrying the matte ones, but if I saw these like individually at Ulta and if there was a specific shade that spoke to me, I would purchase this. So I find these to be much more comfortable than the mattes. So if you're interested in the ColourPop formula, I would say avoid the mattes and pick up the satins over the matte. They're still matte, they're just not as dry. And then the last products in that haul were these two palettes, also from ColourPop. So the first one here is the Element of Surprise. Beautiful colors. Like, these speak to me on so many levels. This pink is absolutely beautiful. I found that in this palette there were a couple shades that were a little bit lackluster, being this one here and this one here. But overall, I thought the palette performed very nicely. I enjoy using it. I do find that these are very pigmented out of the gate, but they are not the most long-wearing eyeshadows. I found that midway through my day, I did kind of have to touch up a little bit here and there. So if you're looking for something that's gonna get you, 12, 14 hours of wear, which is typically how long I would wear my makeup, I wouldn't necessarily go for the ColourPop ones. But if you're doing just like a normal, maybe you're just going out at night, or maybe, you work a normal 6 to 8 hour workday, I think these would be fine. And then the Double Entendre. I love the shades in this palette far more than I thought I would. This, again, very good quality across the board. The only one that's not so great in my opinion is this shade here. It's a really nice transition color for me. However, it's, for some reason, this is the only one that's very, very powdery. Like, you dip your brush in there and it reminds me a lot of like Subculture, just how it kicks back in the pan quite a bit. You probably can't even tell, maybe you can, but if you look closely, you can see how worn that shade looks. And I really haven't, I've used this several times, but I mean, not enough for that shade. I mean, you can see the rest of them don't look like that. There's just something about that specific shade. But yeah, I played around with this quite a bit. It's a nice neutral palette in the sense that it's really simple to put an eye look together in the morning when you're trying to get out the door, and so I appreciate that. Overall, I think the ColourPop formula is fantastic. Again, not the most long-wearing, but not bad at all. In fact, I loved these so much that I ended up, and I spoke to you guys about this in the initial video, I said, I was really hoping that the two palettes I really wanted from ColourPop were going to be the ones that came to Ulta, and come to find out it was these two that came to Ulta. So those were the two that I ended up picking up. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna wait, maybe they'll come. And I mean, it's been in Ulta for a while now, and I just thought, okay, this is just what we're gonna have. Literally a week ago, not even a week ago, I think it launched Sunday. By the time this goes up, it might be a week, but these were the two palettes that I absolutely wanted, and lo and behold, they finally came to Ulta. So I ended up actually purchasing these on the website. I didn't pay shipping because I met the standard shipping requirement, which was $30, I believe. So I ended up getting the Dream Street palette. This, of all of them, is my absolute favorite. These blues are awesome, and I think the quality of this palette is a little bit better than the others. And then, of course, I picked up the highly rated Yes Please or QDF palette. And I really like these, you guys. There's another one that I want at Ulta. So in total, I would have 5. I think these are great to have in your collection. They're great, affordable options. So yeah, that's how I feel about the ColourPop palettes. And that is how I feel about all of these products that I hauled. I hope that was helpful. If you guys have any questions or tips or tricks, let me know down below. And thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Have a wonderful day. Bye.